This is Lansdowne ROAR, the voice of the fans, and this is the Republic of Ireland and Bulgaria second leg playoff, relegation and promotion playoff. And this is the preview. Of course, the Republic of Ireland take a healthy enough lead into Sunday's game, a 2-1 win, of course, in Plovdiv. If you haven't already, folks, you can check out our aftermath. It is in the YouTube archive there. If you want an audio version of that, head over to lansdowneroar.ie. And of course, before we get started, you know what I'm going to say. Don't be one of them. Don't be one of them. Don't be an illegal streamer. Subscribe to the channel, please. Don't be. Do we know what percentage it is?
That's a hint at you, Pierce. I know you're watching, Pierce. That's you. You better not be one. Better not be one of them 41%. I'm warning you, Pierce.
Better not. Who's Pierce? Who are we threatening?
An Irish fan from Belfast. So you be careful what you say about people from that section of Ireland, because Pierce will not be happy.
Well, Pierce, I won't be happy unless you're watching it. Unless you're subscribed to it. Yes, be one of the subscribers, please. Head over, or just hit the subscribe button below, and head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account, please, if you wouldn't mind. And if you want opinion, head over to lansdowneroar.ie. That is lansdowneroar.ie, where you'll also get an audio version of this podcast. Anyway, if you don't know already, I'm David Dunn. He is Conor McAvoy. You're back home, Conor. I'm in North Dublin somewhere. You know me, I'll do a podcast wherever. We tried to do this earlier on, actually, when I landed this afternoon at Dublin Airport, but the Wi-Fi was crap, unfortunately, so I couldn't actually do it. And Conor, you've gone off and played a Gaelic match. How are you anyway? How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired now. It was like the week took a toll on me. I could feel it playing a match there, but no. I'm all right. It's good to get home after a while and doing something that distracts you from the going out of routine, going away to the matches. But no, I'm happy to be home. I had watched plenty of football last couple of days. It was great to see the under-17s winning this morning. We'll touch on that in a bit, but yeah, that was a good start today. And then playing a match helps get back into routine. And then excited for tomorrow, because it should be a very entertaining watch for us. Well, hopefully. Well, I think it'll be entertaining.
I hope so too. Just apologies, folks, if there are any imperfections in the sound quality or anything like that. I am on location.
Actually, I want to call you out on something. You said I'm back home, you're saying you're not back home. You saying Dublin isn't your home? You saying you're not Irish? Are you not? England's your home, is it?
Conor, it's your home, Conor. No. The fans know me. I'm not in my own flat, my own studio. As you can tell, I'm in a spare room. But this is what I listen. The world is my home, Conor. The world is my home. Anyway, yes. It was a hell of a couple of days away in Plovdiv, wasn't it? I think we had about 20 minutes sleep. The first night. I don't think you slept at all.
I didn't get to sleep. No, someone was texting me, getting me trying book them flights. I won't say who, but someone's flights. And then there was like, it's only half an hour, so we're heading here. I'm not going to get to sleep.
That was a surreal moment, I must admit, trying to figure out how to get someone.
You can't even say it because it'll be obvious who it is.
I can't even say it. It was a bit strange.
If we meet you in public, we might say it to you, but maybe not. I probably won't say it to you, but no, it's a funny story. It'll come out one day in David's autobiography. But
it will. I am writing a book about all of this. It's going to be a hell of a read. But yeah, that was mad. Yeah, and of course then Plovdiv itself, 3-hour flight. Oh, it was actually a grand flight over, and then of course, Conor got us lost in Plovdiv.
Yeah. As East Coaster said, David, that's unacceptable. You need to protect the talent, not.
I have to protect the talent.
You have to protect the talent, not.
That was something else. That was something else, because we were standing in the airport and it's with Jason Fitzsimons. Love you, Jason, by the way.
You were going to call him Fitzsimmons there, by the way.
I wasn't I? Because I know another Fitzsimmons, and he pronounced his name Fitzsimmons in London. But anyway, but yeah. And of course, we were standing in the airport, and I said, "Look, we'll just walk 40 minutes to the train station, and then we go." You know, because there was a massive queue for a taxi. There was no taxis outside. You know, and I'm like, look, when you live in London for 14 years, you're just like, you've no patience. You've no patience for anything. If you go to a tube station and it's more than 2 minutes for a train, you're fuming. Like that's what London does to you. And yeah, we went, and we were right next to a military base, weren't we? It's all. We're going to release a vlog of this. It's all going to come out in the next couple of weeks.
Well, we won't see any of that because you were scared to record the military base seal just to say we're beside it.
Yeah, that's because angry looking Bulgarians had with guns on them were saying don't record here. Yeah. Imagine that. We did get a little bit of it. And then we were literally at the state. I wouldn't even call it a station. It was like a bike shed, wasn't it? You know, one of those things. And we ended up getting a taxi, which is cool anyway. It was all just mad. And of course we did go to Sofia, Rob Duggan. If you're watching or listening, because I know he likes to listen to the pod, an absolute gentleman, top bloke, and we all got a taxi back, didn't we? Back to Sofia, but didn't quite get to go see Sofia. Well, I didn't know it was going to be 1 hour 15 minutes to get a bloody metro in. Anyway, I didn't want to get stuck in a foreign country, Conor. You know what I mean? So anyway, I thought it was pleasant enough. What time did you get home at last night?
It was about 12:30 or so. I think my flight was delayed slightly from London to Dublin, and Jesus, anyone who was on my flight back from Dublin last night, the 9:05 one was delayed. That landing, there was very little. There was a wee bit of turbulence on the way in the sky, and then as soon as we started getting close to the ground, the thing was shaking over and back. You could see people were shitting themselves, and then it was like a very dodgy landing, but. Sure, you have to come to expect that when you're used to flying with Ryanair so often. Like
that's just a standard Ryanair fucking landing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But in fairness, I think any airline would have whatever way it was would have been a dodgy enough landing. But I got home in one piece and ready to go for a big Sunday of Irish football.
Yeah, no. I mean, last night I got back to Stansted, got the Stansted Express, £25, please, for a 45-minute train journey. No Wi-Fi. Toilet was flooded in my carriage. I went, yeah, I'm back in London. I'm back in London. You know, this morning when I woke up to get back over to Dublin, I actually caused a little bit of a controversy on the page there because I was flying BA out of City Airport. It's my kind of airport, Conor. They were like, oh, wait, someone was like, why can't you fly Aer Lingus? Who cares? I actually forgot I had checked luggage this morning when I woke up. It's like bollocks. Anyway, that's enough about our travels. Let's get the people what they really want, Conor. Obviously, just now we've had time to digest and reflect over the game in Plovdiv. Look, obviously it was a poor enough match. I watched the first half last night, or rewatched it on the iPlayer, the RT player. I didn't bother watching the second half because there wasn't much football to watch. It was just Bulgaria kicking lumps out of Ryan Manning, to be fair. I must say, you know, you can see Colin, the first 3 minutes, we were excellent. I know, 3 minutes, right? And Colin.
Did you call me Colin? You just said Colin. You just said Colin. Who is Colin? Were you calling me Colin, or were you meant to say Nathan Collins?
Collins. But yeah, you know, we saw for the first few minutes, like, you know, the range of passing was very nice, it was very good, it was confident, it was authoritative. And then, you know, we had the chance, didn't we? Ryan Manning should have done better with a header. And then we just fell asleep. And yeah, Ryan Manning down the other end, caught completely napping, ball watching. And of course, Paul Keller had no chance. Lovely goal there to give Bulgaria the lead. And we just seemed to like just fall asleep, didn't we? Like, and then we had that period during that game where it looked like maybe we're going to have another little mini collapse, and we probably should have gone 2-0 down. After that, and of course, Nathan Collins was doing his best to sort of, you know, give the Bulgarians a helping hand. 3 occasions, 3 dodgy bits there from Nathan Collins, like one blind pass to Kelleher, another one where he plays it out to his left, and the Bulgarian lad intercepts it, pass. We should have been punished. And there was another one as well, just off the top of my head, I can't think of it. And you're thinking, Jesus Christ. Do you think with him, by the way, that he probably feels that, I think you touched on it in Plovdiv, that he just feels he has to do more, that he's trying to overdo it. Like he's always passing it. What I do like about him is he's always talking. He's one of these, isn't he? And I like to see that in a captain. And he's just like everything forward, because all the top players always pass it forward. The tippy top players will always pass it forward. But I know he's only 23, Conor, but like, and you love him, and he does have all the ingredients to be a super player. But Jesus Christ, he needs to just calm down, doesn't he?
Yeah, like no matter what, he's going to be a top club player. He's going to play for a top team at club level, because at club level he never puts a foot wrong, really. And I know he does come in from a different system at Brentford in terms of the back three to a back
Yeah.
four, but like with a player of his quality, it shouldn't make much of a difference. In terms of defensively for Ireland, he's always been top notch. Like, it's never really been his defensive ability that you're thinking, oh,
It's just his
can't
passing.
defend. It's just when he gets on the ball, he just does stupid things. Like I think he's a brilliant player, and yeah, that's what I think it is. I just think he thinks he has to do too much for Ireland, or has to do more, because he can just tell, if you're Nathan Collins himself, put yourself in his shoes. He comes into them games and he looks around and he goes, "I need to be a leader here." He'd have a lot of belief that he's the best player in that Ireland side. I know he's a centre half; he's not gonna run up the pitch and score goals, but like, he will have a lot of belief in himself that he's the best player, which automatically will probably put a thing in his head that I need to step up to the plate here and make that extra impact, because when you play for your country, you have to give that extra 5%, 10%. And he probably thinks it's not just effort wise, it's what he does with the ball at his feet. And maybe it's just settling down and ease himself into a game, but maybe it just goes at any point. From like the one against Finland, like the moment against Finland, like that was just a lapse of, I don't know what it was. It was just, he must have been thinking ahead of what he was going to do after the pass and just made terrible contact with the pass. And that moment the other day was just terrible passing. Like, I don't know what the thing is. I'm not worried. I know people go on about what's happening with Orange. I'm not worried, because I just know in the long run he'll be all right. And it's just moments like at the start. Well, he still is relatively young in an Irish football career. I think it will eventually, these sort of silliness things from him. It's just about easing himself into it, and as more and more young players come through, hopefully that'll take less of a burden off him in terms of trying to do more than what he should.
Yeah, I mean, it was very shaky, and then of course the 20.
You know what I actually don't think doesn't help? It's the fact that this nonsense that Nathan Collins should be playing in midfield, because he's obviously seeing this shit that is going. Nathan Collins should be playing in midfield. Nathan Collins, because he's such a good footballer, should be playing in midfield. So he probably naturally comes into his head thinking, "Oh yeah, I'd be a brilliant midfielder. I look at my pass, look when I can do this and I can do that. I can play the ball through the lines like this." So he's probably in his head thinking, "Oh yeah, naturally that he has to do the role of a midfielder as well, or he has the ability to play as a midfielder. I'm going to show how good I could be." So yeah, I think it's nonsense about the midfield thing. But
it just needs to relax. Just play a game. Just concentrate on your own game. I think someone like Darragh Shea playing next to him as well. I mean, he has an excellent range of passing as well. We saw a little bit of that against Bulgaria, and yeah, I think he just needs to calm down a little bit. It's very frustrating. He just seems to be on a bit of on a mission to sort of capitulate a little bit, and that's a major factor. The other one was a timid clearance. He didn't clear the ball properly, went straight back to the Bulgarians, and he almost scored. So he almost gave away two goals. I think the blind pass to Callagher wasn't there wasn't a lot of jeopardy there, but it could have been. And I think against better opposition, Conor, we could have been 3 down. We could have. We really.
The thing is, we could have been 3 up in a sense before that, because Manning had 2 headers at the back stick, and I can't remember, was it Brady had a shot, or was it someone should have squared it back or something? But we easily.
There was also the free kick as well, the well-worth free kick where Parrott hit it.
Was that not after 1-1?
I think that was 1-1. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was after.
Yeah, sorry.
But
yeah, you're correct there.
No, I think it goes both ways. Like, I think it's a capitulation thing. It's like when you go 1-0 down away at home. I know there was very little there, but they made decent noise, in fairness. I mean, the 4,000 Bulgarians made a lot more noise than what it would have been 70,000 England fans in Wembley in November. So I'll have to say about that. But no, but like they did
dig in about the English, don't you?
There was a 10-minute spell where they were decent, and they looked to kick
after they scored.
Yeah,
for about 15 minutes. Like, we were so confident in the first few minutes, and I know we were talking about 6 minutes, like up to that goal, we were so confident. You think, you know what, we just keep doing this, we're going to be 2-3 up.
And it didn't help.
Time.
By the way, it didn't help that the 2 wingers were just passing the ball back. I'm sure I remember John. I don't know if you remember, like Johnson for a while in the first half was just
and Manning
giving the ball straight back to him.
But and I want to actually get back to that because I do have a bit of a problem with what the manager was trying to do there, despite results. We have to be fair. But there was a 15-minute spell where the crowd got on top, and I can remember the game in Athens, not the one last year, the one before that, and it was fucking half empty stadium as well. But the noise they made, and we went. I think Collins got the equaliser. Was it Collins got the equaliser? And we went 1-0 down. We gave away a penalty. I doubt it. I think did Collins get the equaliser?
I can't remember.
In Athens. I'm pretty sure it was him. But they battered us after that. And the noise, it was horrible. Doherty got sent off. It was just a horrible atmosphere to play in. And you could kind of think, you hear the Bulgarians making a bit of a noise. And all of a sudden the Irish lads are, oh my God, like we're in a game here. For about 15 minutes, we wobbled. We could have conceded again. But to be fair, got back, they composed themselves a little bit. And then the goal, what lovely ball in by Brady. Troy Parrott, deft touch across. Finazaz, you ain't going to score an easier goal than that. Puts it in. Fantastic. Still had a few moments there with Nathan Collins. I think like 2 of those incidents happened after we went back to 1-1. And actually, when I was watching the game back, I showed you, didn't I? That outrageous. Check it out on the Twitter. The outrageous Finazaz pass to Robbie Brady.
Don't doubt me. What do
I say? Don't doubt him. Don't doubt me.
What have I said last? It's probably 3 years at this stage about Finazaz should be in the Ireland team, and lo and behold, he got man of the match. Right?
And people turn around and go to me, Dave, why don't you give Conor like a bit more credit? I like it a bit more. This is why.
I got sick the other night by certain people. I won't say who, telling me I need to be nicer to Dave, and I was like, do you not know who this man is?
Who said that?
I'm not going to say.
Who said that? Go on. Was that in person or online?
In person.
Go on. Who said it? Go on.
Members of my family. Members of my family told me
Did they?
nicer to Dave. But
there you go. You see, I'm a gentleman.
I told him that's all part of my rep tracker. It's just shooting Dave down. But nah,
shooting me down. Yeah,
I agree with you when you're right. I just tend to think you're wrong 99% of the time. But then and then I just like to tell you that I'm always right, and you should never doubt me. Like I picked this Ireland squad. I told you Finazaz should be in Ireland squad years ago, and look what he's done once he's come in. I know he's only been one really good performance, but that one performance outweighs any other Irish player in the history of football, number 10, because but I think it is good, Dave, that we actually have an Irish footballer that plays as a number 10 that is capable of making any sort of pass. Like I know I was saying to you the other day about Smodics. Like Smodics, obviously a brilliant player. He makes brilliant runs in behind. He times his runs very well, but like in terms of pure footballing ability and like watching a player play like Finazaz, just like
we spoke about this on WhatsApp. Like they're two completely different types of player. Like Smodic is an aggressive street footballer. Like he's tricky. He'll do things. He'll find space. He's a bit naughty. Like I love that. Like he's just, and that's why his stuff is best placed through the middle. Just outside the box or inside the box. I don't like him out in the wing. I like, he should be playing behind the striker. He'll just cause trouble.
But that's a good question for fans. Like, would you put Sammy back in the Ireland team if he was fit now? If you can only play him down the centre, like, because I think at this stage, like, we have to like fit that number 10 role around Azaz, and if Smodics is going to come into the team, it kind of is on the left. Like, I know we're saying he is better on the down the center, but he is still okay on the left. He still does offer something.
I think he's an option. Like I think we'll get to this a little bit later on, with the players. But I think some of the players come through. We've a lot of injuries. I think with the makings of a decent squad here, and there's options, and they could do things, but play in the same position, but differently. Like Smodic can play behind the striker, but he does it differently. As you said, he's more aggressive. He's a street footballer. He's street smart. Finazaz is Rolls Royce of a number 10. Like, honest to God, go back on the RT player. Some of the passing is ridiculous.
And the thing is, he's a striker's dream, isn't he, Finazaz? It's just like, you just know as soon as he gets on the ball, he gets on the half, and he's looking
going to do something
for that run in behind of Troy Parrott or something. Like with Smodics, it's more, he's not really going to get on the ball in half turn and look to make that pass. Even he does do it at times, but that's like, it's the automatic nature of Finazaz is looking to make that pass to our striker.
Smodic though will make something happen. He'll get something out of nothing. Like he'll chase down something in a blind out and he'll make something. He's just so clever. But I think they're two assets to have. And then of course the equalizer. I tell you what, I didn't notice this, and I pointed. I'm not sure if you noticed it before, but I sent the video to you last night. Matt Doherty obviously got the equalizer in the 42nd minute. I have to say, go back and watch it on the RTE player if you can. It is, or I'll send you if you send me in private. I'll send you the video of it because I can't put it up on the thing. It'll get done for copyright. His run, or just go on the YouTube highlights on the FEI channel. His run for that goal was top class. Cullen, foot on the ball, nothing happening, no one's moving, which is a problem, by the way. No movement. He's like, what's going on? And Doherty just takes it from himself. You see him down the bottom of the screen, and he just runs like Forrest Gump. He just makes a run, and Cullen goes, okay, nice one. And he hit, and to be fair to Cullen, he hits a pitch perfect ball over to Doherty. Doherty goes in. He sees a big yellow monster coming out of the goalkeeper, and he kept brave, and he heads it in. And the goalkeeper came out, and he got a little bit of Matt Doherty, got none of the ball. 2-1 Ireland. And I have to say, I've been a staunch critic of Matt Doherty, justified by the way. But I tell you what, he's really turned it around, and the bravery and the football, as you said last night, the football IQ he showed, the intelligence to make that run and to make that happen was superb, and I was very impressed by that. And fair play to Matt Doherty. I want to see all Irish players do well. But yeah, I thought that was superb. It was obviously the second half. Then I didn't rewatch the second half because Jesus, I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. But Bulgaria, basically, it was handy for us because you swear Bulgaria were trying to hold on to it. It's like they were trying to hold on to a 2-1. They probably maybe sensed that, you know what, these guys, they're back. You know, we're going to stop that and maybe try to nick something late on, but we're going to stifle the game and kick lumps out of Ireland, which they did, but they couldn't produce anything. They were so poor. Despodov, I know he was there. That's his name, isn't it? Despodov?
Yeah, the right winger.
Yeah. He's their like top man. Now, he had a bit of an off night. He was the one that dinked it over Cullen.
Yeah.
For their goal. But other than that, like, they were just so bad. They were so poor.
They're
and
crap.
I
told you they are terrible. They are like they're terrible.
Sorry. They are terrible. But I also did say to you that I worried that we do something stupid and we concede. And we didn't just do one thing stupid. We did several things stupidly. But thankfully, we weren't punished because they're such an awful team. But I do worry, Conor. You know, I mean, Dunphy's not having any of it. Have you heard about
this? He just wants a clickbaity title. That's all he wants.
Well,
I haven't even gone. Tell me what he said because I don't even know what he said.
Well, this article was sent to me by Martin Fitzpatrick, by the way. Martin, hope you're well. He's always keeping us abreast of the situation, Martin. I don't know where he said this. Oh, it was in his Irish Mirror. Bollocks, I never bought that. I bought the Star. He writes to the Mirror now, which is weird.
It's still the same. It's owned by the same crowd. It's still Reach PLC, so it could be in both.
Yeah, it's definitely not the Mirror. Sorry, it's definitely not the Star.
Can you give us a hint of what he said?
I'll tell you what he said. He just says that Heimer Hallgrimsson is out of his depth. He says that we are a bang average side who defeated an even weaker team. A side who lost 5-0 to Northern Ireland, who drew once with Luxembourg and drew twice with Belarus. Now, to be fair, that was an aberration against Northern Ireland. They were missing a lot of players, and he actually beat Northern Ireland in the previous fixture 1-0. But, Belarus were dreadful. Let's be honest, Belarus were dreadful. No disrespect to Luxembourg, because the lad whose house I'm in is from Luxembourg. But like, they're not exactly a great team either. He says they are going nowhere, and so are Ireland under this manager. Heimer Hallgrimsson may well be a very talented dentist. For all I know, he may be a world-class practitioner of the trade. If you need a little flossing, better call Heimer. But the FEI needs to dig out, not a tooth out. Quite frankly, the man is out of his depth. And that's pretty much it. I think, and then I'll get your opinion on it. I like Eamon Dunphy, but I think that's ridiculous. He championed Stephen Kenny, which is odd because he always seemed to be out for our managers. Well, he maybe start off positively and it always end up that he'd fall out with them. And he championed Stephen Kenny. We've had 3 wins out of 5 games under Heimer Hallgrimsson. I think we had about 3 in about 15. Did we even manage that under Stephen Kenny? And he loved Stephen Kenny, no matter what. I do not see... We're going to talk about the lineup in a second, but I cannot see what Heimer's really done wrong considering the time he's had with the players.
Yeah, strange. No, I'd pass no remarks on, but Dunphy's saying, to be honest. He doesn't have a clue, to be honest. He doesn't look into these oppositions that these teams played against, whether
Doesn't stay till 3 a.m. like you and me, Conor.
Yeah, so I think it is like there's so much to talk about in terms of these people, like with to get the platform like he does to speak. And fairness, he did know his stuff back in the day, but I'd imagine ever since he's went off TV, any sort of research into these things has just gone to nil. Like he's given the same opinion that anyone down the street would give about Bulgaria. Like naturally, your natural thought on how would Bulgaria be? Oh, they're just useless. Like, but no, it's like we had to approach that game in a sort of pragmatism way. Like the only thing I would disagree with is the fact that Manning started on the wing. Like I thought probably it would have been better set up and better structure if we had Johnson on the left and Sykes on the right. Like because that's two lads really playing in their natural position. Like I still don't get the Manning can play on the left. I know maybe it was just the fact that Manning keeps the ball well and Pat is a very good left foot on him for just keep, but he didn't really keep the ball out well. What he done very well was winning free kicks. Second half, he used his football brain of getting his body in front and winning free kicks. But in terms of what he offered, really, he missed a good few headers. I know there weren't straightforward chances, but no, it's just weird. Like it's like the fact is like, I just don't get it. Like I wouldn't even bother listening to what Dunphy have to say, to be honest. Anymore. No. I know you like him, but like his football opinion is like his pony.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think like I kind of went off aiming a little bit when he said that the FAI should have held a raffle to help get him out of the financial situation back in 2019. I'm thinking, I don't think you really have your finger on the pulse anymore. I used to just love reading him every Monday in the Star, and I'm a massive Dunphy fan. And look, I met him. His book is superb, and I met him. And there's other books that he's written. The ones about U2, the ones about the Keane one's poor. Actually, to be fair, that's not really his fault. Keane didn't give him much, but you know, like he's a great author, and he was a lovely writer back in the day, and brilliant on television. But yeah, I think lately, no, I wouldn't agree with any of that. He's clearly not really doing his homework, like you and I do, Conor. To be fair, yeah, I agree with that. I thought Manning, that didn't make sense to me. We thought Manning would be left back, Brady left mid, pushing forward. Johnson on the right was strange. Yeah, you could have gone Sykes down the right. The man's in form. I would have liked to have seen Jason Knight on the right. I think you could have given us
the middle. Jack Taylor.
You could have gone with Azaz in the middle. Oh, I think I said beforehand.
I don't think
no. Let me finish. I said beforehand Azaz, but probably seeing like the way he plays as number 10, and yeah, maybe you'd want him higher up behind Ferguson, which I think worked. But you probably could have gone Jack Taylor in the centre of the park, although he's not really playing for Ipswich. Or you could have tried Azaz in midfield and see what he could do. I don't know, but I wouldn't have gone Micah Johnson on the right. I felt that.
I do agree with you, like most of that stuff, but I just think that the two wingers were the only real issue I had with the team.
Yeah, I thought okay, fair enough. I just thought it inhibited the flow. I don't understand this. Why are managers at international level overcomplicating things? You have a left winger, play him on the left. You have a right midfield, play him on the right. You have a guy playing left back, play him left back. You have another. I don't understand. Why do we have to be cute and clever? Just play square pegs and square holes. Let's not overcomplicate it, especially when you've had a team. This is his fourth window as Republic of Ireland manager Heimer, and people go, well, he's had enough time. Not really, but what people fail to understand is, and this is modern football, and it's a thing I don't like about modern football. However, it is what it is that he hasn't had a camp with these guys because the FAI, in my opinion, botched the whole the process, right? And John O'Shea had to take over, and the time that he would have had as a camp was spent with John O'Shea, and we didn't know who the manager was coming in, or maybe he did, I don't know. So he hasn't had a camp with them yet, and he's had 4 windows, but you don't get any training time with them. You basically get a small conversation, a little bit of a thing for the cameras, and then that's it. You don't get a lot, and then you're traveling. If you got 2 away games or an away game, or even just 1 away game and a home game, you're traveling. You don't get a lot of time, and the players are resting up because it's all complicated now with overloading players and this kind of thing. And in this modern day, I was actually having a conversation with Umeh J, actually. Back in the day, if you were in international football, was the highest level of football because you didn't have that time. You had to be of a certain level to play international football because you can take up instructions at the drop of a hat because you don't have a lot of time with the manager. And that's why you would consider an international player. Well, you're an international player. You should know. You should know what to do. I shouldn't have to tell you. Now in this modern era, players are so coached. Everything's driven in. They can't think for themselves. They're overcoached, in my opinion. And that's a massive problem for international football, for an international football manager, unless you have the job for a long amount, like a number of years. Steve Clarke, you could argue, with Scotland. They got a result in Greece. And I think that's been a problem for Heimer. And I do feel once we get to June, I said it, just get through this. What I want to see on Sunday, what I want to see tomorrow is just no nonsense. Just get the result, 1-0, 2-0. Keep it simple. You'll get a result, bit of confidence. We'll go to June, have a camp, bring in John Patrick. I know, I keep adding names too, don't I? I'm just trying to make him more Irish. But bring in John Patrick, bring in Aaron Cashin, who hasn't kicked the ball for Brighton yet. Bring in Bosun Lawal, who hopefully will be fully fit by then. Bring in these guys. Let's have a look at these guys. Let's see what options we have. I really do think, Conor, that Bulgaria are a crap outfit. They're a bad team. They're a bad side. This Ireland team is not a bad side. It's just a decent side in a bad place.
And it's international football. You never hammer teams away from home in international football. Like we with England last night to beat Albania only 2-0. Like, and I seen Albanian fans going absolutely mental at their team for how poor they were. Like, and England only beat them 2-0. Like, and it's just international football works. Like, unless you're really a Spain who kind of have that definite side of football where it's just so hard for any team really to play against, it's almost impossible. Like, and like I know we're talking about like the left back issue and stuff, and I think it would have made more sense with O'Dowda there, because if you played O'Dowda left mid for the balance sort of thing away from home, it would make more sense than Manning, because O'Dowda's biggest strength, in my opinion, really is his ball carrying ability, which kind of like is eliminated once you bring Manning in. Like, and like I'm just after reading there, it's just completely off topic, Dave, but in terms of left backs, I know I've been speaking about Teo Daramola for a while, and he's on loan at Bradford City after a tough spell at Salford, and someone's after tweeting saying, also, it's no overstatement to say Teo Daramola delivered one of the best performances I can remember in years. He is a very, very good footballer, and stuff about that Bradford City fans might be saying about him. Not over exaggerating, but Daramola is the best left back I've seen at City in years. Teo Daramola might be my favorite person in the world. What a fucking boy! First name on the shopping list this summer. So, he got an assist today for Callum Kavanagh, who actually scored twice, which is another good to see. I don't think he'll probably with the strikers we have, but it's a good to see young lads doing well. And I think Teo, is one for the future. I think could come true in that left back position.
Bradford's League 2, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's League 2. So it's not the level. It's not the level he should be playing at. But I think it's a step down to rebuild confidence and form. And like you can see obviously with the praise he's got since he's joined them, like he's clearly above that level. And I think Bradford have gone on a record win. I know I think they drew last week, but it was like a record winning streak, and they actually broke their home attendance record of all time today, which is a sign of how much the fans are behind them. And they're most definitely going to finish in the automatic promotion places in League 2 this season. So like if he goes back to them next season on loan, I know it's still League 1, it's still not what we want, but like it would be a building block for him. And he's only 21, he's still very young, and it's a couple of years away. But that's just a sidetrack from the.
Nothing wrong with that. No, I think it's a pertinent point, because we are seriously lacking a left back. Look, Callum O'Dowda and Robbie Brady, they're not left backs; they're makeshift left backs, and they're also getting on a little bit.
Yeah.
They're still doing a job. I mean, to be fair with O'Dowda, I prefer him as a left back as opposed to a left midfielder. He doesn't do enough he's too safe.
Doesn't offer his end product really, does he?
No, he's too safe. This is, let's be realistic. Here's a guy who's had several injuries, very long-term injuries, and he's thinking, he's just trying to look after himself. He's very safe. He won't give the ball away, but he won't make it happen. That as a left back you can have. As a left midfielder, he's very blunt, and I'm not having a go. That's just where he's at, and I totally understand it. And he had a nightmare in Athens 2 years ago, but I think he had a couple of games since then, and he's been all right. To be fair to him, but yeah, I think obviously we need a left back. We need a proper left back.
Dave, just for context, because people seem to always think, he's playing in League 2 and never going to make it. Finn Azaz at 21 was playing in League 2 at Newport County. He ended up getting Young Player of the Year in DBR. So it was obvious. He had a loan. I remember it was at Cheltenham. He was in League 1 and it didn't go that well after he joined Villa. It's funny enough, he joined Villa from West Brom and never even played a single game for Villa, even under 21s, just went straight out on
Yeah.
loan. But like he had done a year in League Two, got young player of the season, and then went to League One with Plymouth the next season, got promoted. So like people think, oh, because he stepped down, he's never going to get back to the level that he once was at talent wise or what he was.
Nonsense.
People need to like realize there's people have different paths, and it's just about getting that one. A lot of players is get that one low move that just ignites everything, and getting under a manager that really believes in them and gives them the confidence to play.
Harry Kane went to Millwall. David Beckham, Preston, if I'm not mistaken. Paul Scholes, Oldham.
Yeah,
I think you know.
Yeah, well, this is some match preview. We haven't even talked about tomorrow's game. I think we need to talk about tomorrow's game. We are 35 minutes about nothing but tomorrow's game.
No. Do you know what? No, look, we are reviewing. Obviously, it's a review / preview, but I think we're just trying to put things into context because I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine, and he's like, I'm trying to sort of come on in, like it's not as bad. It's like no, not having it. I've seen it all before, and I'm just trying to kind of open that door a little bit. Say, look, it's not as bad. It's not as bad. Let's put that into context. They went 2-1. They went 1-0 down. They came back. They wobbled, but they stabilised. They came back. That's a massive shot in the arm. We lost 5-0 to England in the previous game. That would have been massive on them. But they've got past that, and they've got a win. It's against poor opposition, but they've got to win, and they need to build on that. Now, with tomorrow, we're finally getting into 35.
Give us your team you want to see, Dave. Get stuck into it.
I want to see
11.
You ready for it?
It's usually I go first, and then you would just I won't doubt him. I'll just copy his team. Now go on and give your team.
Yeah, I would go. Obviously Kelleher, Doherty probably. I don't think Doherty will start. No, I think actually I'd go with the same back four, except I'd go with the same. Sorry, back five. Same back five. Robbie Brady is left back. Left mid, I'd put Johnson on. Right mid, I'd probably go. Yeah, I think actually I would go with the team that you should have picked. Maybe go with what you said. Go Knight and Cullen in midfield, and then go Sykes on the right. See how he gets on there, and then Azaz in behind. Try Parrott again. I don't see why that can't do the job. I don't think it's negative. And then you can obviously take players in and around. You can bring on Ferguson again. Azaz could maybe drop back, or I just think just keep it simple. Just play a right-sided winger and a left-sided winger in a position, and then I would have gone with maybe give Rokovaca a chance to start. However, he did, and I know he's an insanely talented player, but he had a bit of a crap debut. To be fair, he did.
Very blunt.
Yeah. He did. He I'm sure he wasn't happy about it. But look, it wasn't. It wasn't an easy game to come on. There was no flow to the let's call it what it is. There was no flow to the game. Let's not be too bad on the lad. There was no flow to the game. When he got in, it was a physical. It was just a kicking match at that stage. It was a horrible pitch. It was a terrible pitch. There was no flow. Very difficult to do something. It's the lad's debut. What could he do? He got a yellow card because it was physical. And then, to be fair to the Irish lads, they kicked lumps out of the Irish lads. The Irish lads kicked back. They took it, and they did very well. I thought they kept their heads very well. I thought we were going to get someone sent off, just lashing out because the Bulgarians were lashing out. But no, we didn't do that. So, obviously I'd like to see Vata come on a lot earlier. Hopefully, we're 1 or 2-0 up at that stage. But yeah, I just go with the same again. I thought Parrott was excellent. Some of his touches, running was excellent. I'm hoping now we're starting to see him. I've always said he's a lovely footballer. Just needs to toughen up a little bit. And to be fair, I thought he did okay. He laid on the goal. Finn Azaz, obviously, want to see more of him, and let's see him. Maybe he's going to get the crowd going. Yeah. Johnson, I want to see Johnson get the crowd going. Give the ball to the lad. Make him go on one of those mazy runs down the left. Just create something. I want to see some the first 5 minutes. Having 2 or 3, having a shot or 2 and goal. Even if it goes over the bar, but just get the crowd into it. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
You want my team?
Go for it.
Because your team's too boring for my liking.
Oh, yeah.
So, Rep Tracker's team is Max O'Leary in goal. Jimmy, no, I'm only messing. Kelleher in goal. I want to see. It's just so hard to say we can't start Jake O'Brien in one of these games. It's just, it feels
He-
like a crime against humanity not to have started Jake O'Brien, rewarding him for his form.
To be fair on that, I hear what you're saying. Maybe he will start not because Doherty had a bad game, but just the load, the overloading.
Yeah.
They like to use that. But
And
sorry, go on.
he's what, 32, 33?
Yeah.
Doherty, like it is.
It would be a resting. It would be him resting Doherty. It would not be
Yeah.
him dropping Doherty because I thought Doherty did okay.
I would
Sorry.
say a few of my selections would be different if this game actually meant something. But as I said to you, Dave, this is as good as done. I don't want to. I know we're only Ireland, like we're not England. We're not going to go and beat teams 7-8-0. But I think it's pretty confident that we can say we should be beating these guys. And I would still I'd still go with Collins and O'Shea. The argument you could even play Brady at left back because not Brady Manning, sorry, because at Brady's age, 2 games in this short of a spell is still tough on him. I know he done it, didn't he? He did it with Finland away and then Greece away, but he's still like that's still a lot of load, and he has been injured quite a bit since he missed the England game in November with injuries. So maybe you could think injury wise, would we just play Manning there and Manning still has a one with left foot and he still offers that. And
I'd be okay with that.
Pieces. Like Brady was actually, being honest with you, Dave, I thought Brady actually was quite poor the other night. Like his set pieces were so bad, and even that ball he put in, even I was actually having the conversation, and they were saying that Brady's ball to Parrott wasn't actually a great ball. It was just a hit and hope. He just hit it, like he kind of just whipped it in, and it kind of just curled around. Like if you get it, just came around and somehow
lovely touch
by Parrott. Like so, and like you thought Brady played that pass to Doherty. I don't know how. That would have been the greatest pass I've ever seen.
Thanks for throwing me under the fucking bus, mate.
Just funny. You thought that Collins' assist was Brady because you were like, "Oh, that football IQ from Brady."
No, hold on.
And I was thinking,
hold on. No, hold on a second. I was watching it. I went, oh my God, what a run. And I was also writing an article at the same time, and it wasn't much light. And I was watching it on my laptop in the corner, and I sent it to him. And I go, that wasn't Brady, that was Cullen. I was like, oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, thanks for throwing us under the bus, Conor.
Sorry for disturbing you. And then I would have Cullen is at 6. You know what I do? I would have Andy Moore playing in the 8 because I think in this sort of game, with his ability, and he's shown it earlier in the season with Stoke playing in a deeper role, how good he can do in that role. And then Azaz in the 10, Johnson on the left, Vata on the right, and I think I'd go with Ferguson up front. If this game, as I've said to you, if this game meant something, I would still have Knight in midfield and I would have Parrott up front. But I think this tie, no, you can go, you would kill them early, then we bring on subs at halftime or at 60 minutes. But I just want to see excitement. I want to see Rocco Vat and Johnson on the wings, 2 lads that get people off their feet in the Viva. Sykes could even play, so Sykes could be rewarded. Like he did all right when he came on the other day. Like I thought Ferguson was very bright when he came on the other day. And I think we should just try and let him build on what he's shown.
Be very hard on Parrott though, wouldn't it? Be very tough. I don't think he did a lot wrong.
Yeah, I think it's just the thing of refresh and space these games. And I think the tie, I've said to you, I don't like saying it because like it's only 2-1, but like it's only Bulgaria.
Well, this is going to be a new challenge for the team. You know, obviously taking an aggregate lead, a 2-1 aggregate lead into a game. You're the favourites for it. You can't say that about Ireland a lot. You know, under Heimer, I don't think we've been favourites really. Maybe Finland at home. We've been favourites for a game. So we're in the driving seat. And realistically, we should get another goal in the first half early. And then that's it. Put the game to bed and hopefully come out 2-3-0. But there's still that thing in the back of my mind that we're going to have a wobble. That somebody's going to do something stupid. And to be fair, you know, I don't want it to happen. And I hope now we can just relax. You know, get the crowd on side, give them something to shout about. But I just hope now that we don't do anything silly and we just have a nice... I don't think we've played a game under Heimer where a player hasn't done something stupid. And you have to feel bad for the manager because you cannot plan for that when you're the manager. That's not your fault, you know? And, you know, you saw him when they got the first goal, when they went ahead in Plovdiv. And he's like, fucking again, I can't believe this again. So if we just avoid that, I just want to see us avoid that. I just want a nice, flawless performance at the back. They're going to get half chances. That's football. Just don't give them don't hand them, you know, here you go, have some of that. And that's what I want to see anyway.
Yeah,
But
but hopefully it's an entertaining watch. And hopefully the players don't come into it the same attitude that I have. This is only Bulgaria and we should be beating them. But
no, we can do
no,
that. They can't.
yeah, fans give that, but hopefully they. So and like it'll be a game for lads to prove a point. Like Parrott, for example, if I'd imagine Parrott will start up front, I think he will start up front. Like, but it's a real opportunity for him if he can get a goal now tomorrow and think
Yeah,
he's left his mark on this Ireland team. There's a difference in just coming in because you're in good form and then play. Obviously, he done well the other day, but like making that real impact of scoring a goal, like because like if Ferguson, say for example, Ferguson starts scoring now for West Ham, it'll be a lot easier decision for Heimer to bring him, start him in June or start him in September if Troy Parrott hasn't scored this month because like players tend to be rewarded by international managers. International managers have a lot of a loyalty to lads that do well for them. Like I think you've seen a lot with England with Southgate how loyal he was to like Maguire and stuff. And like I think Heimer is a bit like that probably with Robbie Brady because Robbie Brady has performed from every time he's called upon him. So no,
yeah.
it should be an entertaining one. And we want to touch on the underage stuff, or do you have more to give on this match tomorrow?
No, let's go on to the youth football, and then we're going to wrap it up. So, Connor, just give us a little roundup of the youth side of things.
Yeah, it's been a interesting, I think, first couple of days with the underage football, to say the least. We had in the first games for the under 17s, under 19s, and 21s, they all lost, which is a very rare occurrence these days for Irish underage teams. And of course, it caused uproar on social media, fans going, "Oh, all these overrated talents, they're not nowhere only average and this and that." And like, it's just like settle down, like these are judging players, and you didn't even watch. People wouldn't even watch seeing the games because the 17s or 19s games wasn't streamed and the 21's game was streamed last night. Like I watched it last night against Scotland. Like Ireland had a lot of possession, but in terms of like offering something in the final third, they just weren't direct enough, and they didn't. It was like they were afraid to shoot at times, and Scotland were a lot more direct in that sense. Like, and like I thought, for anyone to watch it, I thought Jamie Mullins from Brighton was excellent playing on the half turn, always looking to play on the half turn midfield, which we really lack in Irish midfield. So hopefully he can kick on, maybe get a chance at Brighton for the end of the season, but that's probably unlikely with how much talent they have. But obviously next season you'd think that he will get a loan or he'll go with them in pre-season and kick on. Jack Moorhouse, who made his debut for Man United, I thought was done well. They probably didn't get on the ball enough, but done well. And then Jada Kiki from Sligo Rovers, I thought was excellent on the right wing, which is always good to see. Dave, that League of Ireland player came into that side and was as good as anyone on pitch really. Because I thought Mullins and Kiki were probably the two best players on the pitch over the course of 90 minutes because Ireland had a lot of play, and like Scotland obviously they have a few good players. That Lawrence fella from Man City was excellent for them, but it was kind of like in spurts, whilst Mullins and Kiki were 90 minutes of excellent football. And then just on the 19s, they drew this morning in the second game with Slovenia, which has stopped them as any chance of qualifying, which is a huge disappointment because the talent in that squad is absolutely outrageous. Like losing that first game to Finland is a complete nightmare and something that you should never really expect. I know people are going mad over that, but it was kind of thing. Finland scored an early goal because I managed actually. Finland uploaded the game to public view after the game was over, so we got a chance to watch that back after. In Ireland had the majority possession, but they just couldn't. Did no luck in front of goal. Like Finland scored a nice free kick after 2 minutes. Like it's the first shot that in the game, and then it's like they automatically settle into game in that one. Whilst Ireland you shit the bed a bit after that because you're thinking, oh, look at all the players we have in this pitch. How are we not winning this game? And they drew this morning. Obviously that wasn't streamed. They went 1-0 down, and then Cian Dillon from QPR, former Shamrock Rovers striker, equalised in the penalty spot. And then Ireland completely, like if you look at the stats, Ireland had 8 shots, Slovenia had 4 and scored from one of them. Like, so it was just kind of thing. Ireland didn't take their chance. I think Michael Noonan hit the post in the 83rd minute, but we'll never get to see the highlights of them, to be honest, because they're not going to upload that. And then the 17s today, I think, was the biggest positive so far. Dave lost to Belgium 1-0 in the first match, and from people I've heard that were at the game out, Ireland were the better team against Belgium, which is a good sign. They probably missed Michael Noonan's end product in that game, which is a pity. That, as I've said to you, I think he should have been with the 17s this month. And I think it was Jaden Newman the last day supposedly was the best player on the pitch. And then today was the Jaden Newman show yet again, tearing Poland apart. Sadly, I actually only seen 60 minutes of the game, and he scored in the 71st and 77th, which is just my luck because I've been raving about Jaden Umeh now for 2-3 years and saying he's a player I would go out on a limb to say he is the real deal, and he is one player that we think can actually go to the top. Like, he is absolutely ridiculous. Like, pace, power, strength. He looks like a man amongst kids, basically, and he was not in that context. Of course, you think of that, and then but he's brilliant today, taking men on with ease, running past people. This kind of thing is like you see the Irish players to pick up the ball, and it's like, where's Jaden? Give him the ball, just make him do things happen. And he was excellent. I thought Rory Finneran from Newcastle was brilliant, and I was thinking, there's like of Irish players in the past, who do you remind me of? It's like, I hate saying it, but he reminds me of what Declan Rice was like for Ireland underage level, like that sort of dictating play and breaks up everything. He was absolutely brilliant. And then you obviously you have the fear then of that, oh shit, Declan Rice won that. But then, and Ramon Martis, who plays for Almira in Spain, I thought was excellent. Ireland under 17 today, in fairness, were absolutely brilliant. They played some lovely football. They completely dominated the game. Like, the game should have been more than 2-0. Like, Umeh hit the post with a header in the first half.
Yeah.
But just the ability to, like, Dave, I would recommend just go rewatch that match, like, just to see Jaden Umeh, because he's worth the admission fee alone for any fan, because like when he came through at 15 playing for Cork City's first team, that is not something that is a common occurrence across players across Europe. And he's probably as good as anyone at Europe in his age at the moment. Obviously, he still is only 17. And at Benfica now, probably you'd argue one of the best academies in Europe, maybe the best for just bringing through players. And he'll be probably with Benfica's B team next season, which is the second tier of Portugal, which is men's football, which he is ready for at this stage to come back into. And
yeah,
no, it's good to see that the 17s, and they have a chance now of qualifying for the World Cup, and they can technically still top the group. What they would need is Poland to beat Belgium in the last game, which Belgium have got lucky in the 2 games to beat Ireland by a penalty. And I think Iceland today, they scored with 5 minutes to go. They get the winner to beat Iceland 2-1. And Iceland had lost to Poland. Oh, Iceland drew 1-1 with Poland in the first game, just to give context. With a 90th minute penalty, Iceland scores. Poland had the game, probably thought that the game wrapped up, and then gave away a last minute penalty. So what Ireland need to qualify for the Euros this summer is Poland to beat Belgium. So that means 3 teams would finish on 6 points, because presuming Ireland beat Iceland, and then it would go to the goal difference, which means Ireland will have to win by 2, which is quite complicated when you have to go through things. But if Ireland or if Belgium don't beat Poland, Ireland can't qualify. If Poland don't beat Belgium, but if Ireland win against Iceland, they have a chance of qualifying for the World Cup with under 17s, which is at the end of this year, which is like the winners of each group, and I think it's 1 or 2 best runners up across all the groups will also qualify with them. So you'd hope maybe with 6 points and maybe a decent goal difference, they would have a chance of qualifying for the World Cup. I know you'd probably have to listen to that 3 times to pick all that up, Dave, but it's exciting for these young lads that they might get a chance to go to, I think it's Qatar, the World Cup is in at the end of the year. So yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. I'm going to have to go back and listen to that 3 times to work that out, as Conor said. But no, thank you, Conor. I mean, someone asked me today, I don't really know what's coming down the pipeline for Irish football. Well, there's good stuff coming down the pipeline. There's some good young players there. So,
and we do see a lot of stuff, Dave, just on people talking about, because like we're not having the money invested in academies and Brexit, and so they're not putting the money in, and then players can't go to England, so we're just falling behind. But like, we have Jaden Umeh going to Benfica, one of the best academies in Europe, and we have Ike Arazi going to Stade Rem, and we've lads at Hoffenheim. So like, people act like it's completely no way because they have to say it, but like there is a good amount of lads that have gone to these European clubs at 16, whatever, that will develop them, and they're rather with English teams just bring, like, kind of have lads come in and like just they come in and out like it's nothing. Whilst these European clubs, they're full focus on bringing lads through academies. Obviously, the main focus in Ireland has to be funding academies, but it's not. People act like because there's no English academies for these lads to go to until they're 18, it's the end of the world.
No, absolutely not. Thank you for that, Conor. That's the Youth Football Roundup for you there. Now we're going to go. Hopefully you've enjoyed this preview. We did get to it eventually. 35 minutes in. But we will be live from the ground tomorrow. You know the deal. 1 hour before kickoff. That's 6:45. local time. Don't have to say Irish time or local time because it is in Ireland, thank God. Back in Lansdowne ROAR, we will be 1 hour before kickoff. We will be live for the pre-game, and then of course, about 5 or so, maybe 5-10 minutes when you stop blaring the bloody music in the background, we will be live for the aftermath. Will we be talking about Republic of Ireland staying in Group B? Will we be talking about life in Group C? Or will we be talking about a lot of other stuff? Or will we be just very happy and say, you know what? I'm looking forward to June because that wasn't bad today. Anyway, hopefully, we will find out tomorrow. Before we go, guys, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you want opinion and you want an audio version of this, head over to lansdowneroar.ie or wherever you get your podcast as well. Anyway, we are out of here. I'm David Dunn. He is Conor McAvoy. This is Lansdowne ROAR. Good night.